Henry Mintzberg. Who is Henry Mintzberg? He is an internationally renowned academic and author on business and management. Henry Mintzberg was born in 1939, was in Montreal, Canada. After completing a Bachelor of Engineering at McGill University in 1691, he worked for Canadian National Railway for 2 years, while simultaneously earning a Bachelor of General Arts from St. John's William. Next, Mintzberg completed his Master of Science at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT) in 1965, and later a PhD in Management of the Sloan School of Management. Since then, he has been working as Klagan Professor of Management Studies at McGill University and spent time as visiting professor at various other universities. Mintzberg's writing and thinking has had a major impact on the management world and has received a number of awards, including the McGill Lifetime Achievement Award for Leadership in Learning 2014 and the Thinkers 50 Lifetime Achievement Award in 2015. His work, Nature of Managerial Work, published in 1973, and a seminal article in Harvard Business Review, The Manager Jobs, Folklore and Facts, written 2 years later after establishing his reputation based on the detailed research and thoughtful observation. These two works established showing that was what managers did when successfully carrying out their responsibility, different substantial from much of what was posited by business theory. The 10 role of manager. Mintzberg defines a manager as a person in charge on an organization or subordinate. As a result, this means that the title is applicable to countless people with a formal authority and status. He states that these individuals have 10 integrated managerial roles that can be categorized into 3 groups. The 10 roles are corresponding groups are as follows. The first one is interpersonal roles. According to Mintzberg, interpersonal roles arise directly from formal authority and involve basic interpersonal relationship. The first one is the figurehead role, consists of representing the organization through formal ceremonial duties like greeting and giving a tour to potential business partner. Next is the leader role, consists of the direct leadership like hiring and training, and indirect leadership like the motivation and encouragement of employees. In fact, leadership determines in large part how much of a manager's potential power is realized. And the last one is the liaison role, consists of making contact from the outside the vertical chain of command, since the manager spends as much time with peers and other people outside their units as they do with their own subordinate and very little time with their own superior. Next is informational role. Informational roles are those that are associated with gathering, analyzing, organizing, storing, and distributing knowledge. The monitor role consists of perpetual scanning the environment for information, interrogating, liaison, contact, and subordinate, and receiving unsocialized information. The disseminator role consists of passing and privileged information directly to subordinate or between subordinate when they lack of easy contact with one another. And the next one is the spokesperson role, consists of sending information of people inside and outside the organizational unit, like a public speech, a presentation to a shareholder, or communication with a subordinate manager. Next is the decisional role. Decisional roles are those associated with making and implementing high-level business decisions. The entrepreneur role consists of action associated with the improving one unit and adapting to changing conditions in environment that include creating a new product or process, reorganizing a weak department, merger and acquisition, and other projects. The disturbance handler role consists of responding to change beyond the manager control, like when a strike is looms, a major customer has gone to bankrupt, or supplier reneged on a contract. The resources allocator role consists of determining the organizational structure, deciding who will get what, and ensuring that interrelationship are coherent. Finally, the negotiation role consists of using important information and committing organizational resources when solving a problem or forming agreement.
For this part, I will give an example on each situation of the 10 managerial roles in this theory. Interpersonal roles, which consists of the figurehead, leader and liaison. In situation as a figurehead, Mr. Ahmad arrived at the production company earlier to meet with venture capitalists. He shows them the company's facility and provides some refreshments. As a figurehead, his role is to promote the production company and encourage the venture capitalists to invest in it. The next is the leader, and the situation that relates to this role is Mr. Abu, that as a sales manager, received a memo to increase the monthly sales. He performs his functions by communicating with team members and ensuring that they will fully understand her instructions. He evaluates each representative sales and provides support, delegate tasks, and also motivates the team members who struggle to reach their target. Then the situation for license is Miss Wong recently got a manager job at hospital. To perform his license role, she requests a feedback from the nursing staff and interacts with patients to evaluate the medical care that they receive. Through this conversation, she also develops a professional relationships with the patients and also the nursing teams. Okay. For the next role is about the informational roles, which consist of 3 roles. In monitor situations, the manager examines the quality of product and get feedback from the customers through conducting a survey. His goal is to find a way to improve the operation and generate more revenue, and also reviewing product launched by the competitors and also seeing the industry regulatory changes. Next is the example of the situation as a disseminator. For example, Mr. Amin recently received a managerial position. In his first 100 days, he researched the industry trends and making a proposal for new product design. After getting approval from top management, he disseminates his proposal to the team members, and from that, it will enable them to understand that the new product designs. And then the example of the situation as a spokesperson, as we can see here, is Linda attend the annual shareholders meeting and act as a spokesperson for her department. In that meeting, she informs to the participants about the department result over the past year. And then for the last role is about the decisional roles, which consists of 4 roles that stated here. In situation as an entrepreneur, Josh feels that his department can achieve better result in the next quarter. Using the information that he gathered while reviewing the industry, he adopts the best methodology to the project management to ensure a good productivity. Next is the example of the situation is a disturbance handler. That, as we can see in the workplace situation, here is the warehouse manager informs Vivian that a supplier defaulted on a contract. From that, Vivian understands that this situation may affect the production schedules and the sales target. She resolves this disturbance by directing the team to lead to the change of the supplier. And then, for the next role is about the resource allocator. For example, Amanda received a new project to manage in the 3 months. As she has the limited time, and also team members and also the budget, she searched for some efficient way to ensure that the project will become success. Amanda performs her role as a resource allocator by finding the best way to use all the resources efficiently. And the final role is about the resource allocator. For as example in this situation, as we can see here is Olivia plans to organize a 30-minute meeting with her department. Before the meeting starts, she realized that the finance department also wants to use her selected venue. She also will negotiate with the finance manager and decides to have her meeting for only 15 minutes, so that the finance department can still use the venue during the same time slots.
The reality of management is that the pressures of the job drive the manager to take on too much work, encourage interruptions, respond to every stimulus, seek the tangible and avoid the abstract, make decisions in small increments. When it comes to the benefit of Henry Mintzberg management theory, Mintzberg's key contribution was to highlight the importance of understanding CEO's time management and tasks in order to be able to improve their work and develop their skills appropriately. The contribution or benefits of Henry Mintzberg management theory is to simplify the complexity of management skills and responsibility to be more efficient and organized. Henry Mintzberg also emphasized how vital the managerial roles are. The role model makes it more efficient and develops the individual skills and knowledge. The most valued theoretical contribution was Mintzberg role typology. Its validity was demonstrated in consecutive studies and thus create a common language. His contingency model linking management type to role was less valuable, and Mintzberg's aim was to observe unbiased managerial behavior and analyze it through the empirical research. The most beneficial of Henry Mintzberg theory is providing informational and ideas. Henry Mintzberg emphasized the importance of the effective leader who will give a visionary goal to the organization. A responsible leader will inspire the organization, and the people in the organization tend to be more willing to follow a good leader. Next is processing information. Henry Mintzberg's management theory helped to seek information by creating a relationship. Communication and information processing are conducted by monitoring, taking care, and giving the organization guidelines toward company goals. People in the organization tend to be more productive if they had a clear vision of its goals. Using the information and help in decision making, also the contribution or benefits of Henry Mintzberg management theory. Henry Mintzberg created the theory involving using the information to make a correct choice and precise decision making. Managing information resources properly by participating in a meeting involving debating and decision making related to implementation and innovation. Criticism or disadvantages of Henry Mintzberg management theory. Mintzberg does not assume what an effective or successful manager entails. He also neglects the relationship between the managerial behavior and organizational effectiveness. Furthermore, he takes a neutral position on the managerial role, omitting the influences such as ownership and power, and identify contingency factors explain differences in the makeup of managerial work. The empirical study is based on 5 organizations in action. The small sample size means that the result should not be applied to all industry organizations or management positions. The original sample was too small to consider. Managers' activities shows the evidence of planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling as proposed by Henry Mintzberg for management functions. The managers show different attributes in adopting the roles due to their personality and attitude. Important managerial activities were left out, such as appraisal. It is hard to identify based on observation unless it is testified objectively and recorded normatively. Conclusion on Henry Mintzberg management theory. The organization would be blooming with talents. Effort of individuals managers do not contribute to the success of the organization. Allow the management level personnel to gain valuable insight. People would know what is best for their management. Not a single model can wholly encompass the concept of management, and modern business practice and top management strongly support him.